9 books. Way too many yard sales. I went to a bunch of yard sales, about 5 this morning, and only found books at 1. Even though people say they have books, they end up not having very many, or they are not good books to resell. So that sucked. These were really good. These were mostly, by the way, these were mostly religious books that I found by this woman, James Bryan Smith. These all are selling really quickly and for good money. Well, at least 2 of them are selling for decent money. And I got all these books for 50 cents. So $4.50 for 9 books. I even got this small one, which is long tail, but there's only one other FBA offer going for like 25 bucks. So I'll probably price under that and hopefully move this. But look how tiny it is. I mean, for 50 cents and how small it is, I figure even if it takes a little bit to sell, it's worth it. Aside from my yard sale adventure this morning, which wasn't too successful, I want to talk about a recent CD sale I had. Now, I bought this CD back in February, and I spoke about it in a video because I couldn't believe the amount of money it was going for. I got it for $1, and I just sold it for a record amount. At least for me, it's the most I've ever sold an individual CD for. And here's further justification and proof that selling CDs is more than worth your effort and time. I bought it for $1. It sold for $74.95. I held strong at that price. This is a CD called Switched On Bach. Came out decades ago, but it is apparently a classic in this genre. It uses the Moog instrument. I don't know if it's a synthesizer or keyboard or what it is exactly. I know I'm going to get heat from people that know about it. And I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. I don't think it's Moog. I think it's pronounced in another way. But regardless, it is a famous CD and the price holds steady. So the lowest MF price right now is about $33, $34 plus shipping and handling. So you're talking about almost $40 is the lowest MF price, which is pretty amazing for any CD, really. The FBA prices can be much higher. I priced it at $74.95 based upon the other prices, and I went a little higher than some of them because I felt that based upon the history of the sales, usually stays below 50,000 rank, so it's consistently selling. It's probably selling multiple copies a week, so I knew that mine would sell out eventually, and I was willing to wait 3 months. That's nothing for storage for the CD and sending it in. It's a tiny CD, so it was more than worth it, and I made $60 off of it. So that was amazing profit off of 1 CD. Again, if you're new to my videos, this is not something that happens all the time. This is my biggest sale by far. I just had my previous biggest sale, CD sale, for $41.95. This one is about $33 more than that previous one, so it's almost double the amount. Again, I have found a couple other CDs that have really high prices, but they're very long tail. And if those sell, I have one selling for over $100. If those sell, those will be the record by far. But this one, if I found any other copies of this, I know it would sell. I could sell it for a lot of money. Chances are slim that I'll find another copy because it's such in demand. And when people buy it, they tend to keep it. So I was surprised that I found a copy at a thrift store of all places. Well, anywhere really. Again, I benefited. I downloaded all the songs. So I have all the songs now, even though it's not necessarily my thing, but I kind of was interested in it just to kind of know about it and be historical, kind of a deal. And I like to have a lot of music and, expose my kids to it and that sort of thing. So it was double the benefit for me. I got the songs, sent it in, and it sold. So diversifying is awesome, and I love CDs because they're small, because they can range in price. You can find some really good ones that sell fast for low profit, and then ones for good money, over 20 bucks, that'll take a little bit longer to sell. So far, I've sold 4 for around $40, and now this one for $75. So I have sold 5 CDs for about $40 and up. That's not bad, especially considering that I only started getting into CDs fairly recently. And if I sold a book for $74.95 and I bought it for $1, I'd be super excited. So the fact that I sold a CD, one of the categories that I got into to diversify is pretty awesome, guys. So be on the lookout for that one in particular, but for good CDs, because you never know what you're going to find. And a lot of people ask this about, do you polybag? How do you send in your CDs? And I basically send them in as is, unless the CD case opens easily. So, I test it real quick just to see if it opens really easily, it just falls open. Then I always seal it with a little circular Avery clear mailing seal, which you can just put over it and to make sure that it doesn't open. So it doesn't open in transit, doesn't open when they are taking it out, when the Amazon warehouse employees are taking it out, scanning it in and storing it in the warehouse. Unless it's one of those cardboard or paper sleeves that opens up, and I don't want to put the mailing seal on it because it might, or definitely will mess up the surface of the sleeve. So I might wrap that in some cling wrap. If you have poly bags, you can put it in a poly bag. With the poly bag though, you then have to seal it. I know there's resealable ones, and also you need a sticker, a suffocation warning label or a sticker to put on there. So you have to have all that stuff. I prefer just to use the cling wrap if I need to, or the mailing seal, the Avery clear circular mailing seal. And I just send them in like that. CD cases are more fragile clearly than a book cover. So there's a possibility that it could break or get cracked or something in the box, in transit, in the warehouse, or being shipped to the customer. It's always possible, but there's only so much you can do. So it's a balance between how fast you want to list and ship and send out your items versus how safe you want to make it, how much time you want to spend. Because a poly bag is not really going to protect a CD case from getting cracked. And even a new one, people always say, I only send in new CDs. Well, that's great in terms of the condition of the CD and the artwork and all that. But the CD case might get cracked, even if it's sealed up in shrink wrap. It still could get cracked. A bubble wrap would be the best, or a little box, but that's going to take more money and more time. You want to bubble wrap each individual CD? I don't think it's worth it. So that's my 2 cents. I have yet to have any issues with CDs. Even if it gets delivered to the customer and somehow along the way the CD got cracked and it wasn't cracked when I sent it in, well, they can return it. If I rated it very good, I know that there were not any cracks. If it was good or acceptable, I know that it had some cracks. So I already know if it's returned and they say, oh, it had a crack, a big crack, and I know it was rated very good, then I know either the customer did it when they got it by accident, or it was somehow damaged en route. So that's a way for me to be able to track it and understand without remembering every single condition of every CD. So yeah, I'm super excited about the sale. It's awesome. I'm going through all my sales, guys, through May and then into June, so I can get an idea here of what's been selling, what kind of money I've been making, that sort of thing, to catch up. And I'm going to post my May sales results soon. But I had over 200 sales, I know that. May was great, and now June has been going well as well. So be on the lookout for Switched on Bach. If you never find it, that's fine. Look for some good CDs. If you're interested in sending in different types of items that sell for good money to kind of fill it in, the space in between books in the box, and also just to pump up your sales a little bit. And as always, remember, keep booking.